Hello friends and welcome to the Cold War Prepper. My name is Lee. In our Tuesday night nonfiction book club, we're reading Selko Begovich's and Toby Cowan's SHTF Survival Boot Camp. On page 191 he talks about a fire starting tool he calls a heat can or fire can. And that reminded me of what I'm doing here at the house. I call it the Boy Scout stove. Back in the mid 60s, late 60s in Boy Scouts, we made these little camp stoves, and so I'm going to teach you how to do that. And let me get this unassembled because it didn't record last time, so I had it assembled. So what you want to do is get a tuna can, roast beef can, chicken can, whatever, the smaller cans, aluminum cans. Once you get that done, you're going to measure the depth, this depth here, and then subtract at least 1/8 of an inch or even 1/4 of an inch. Then you're going to take a cardboard box and you're going to cut it so that you have the channels sticking up, okay? So now that we've got the channels sticking up, we're going to roll that into a circle, and then we're going to fit it inside of our aluminum can. The cardboard now is becoming the wick, so you're going to have a very large wick, a lot of burning surface and area. Then you're going to get some paraffin. This is in the canning section of Walmart. And inside there are 4 of these bars. If you use the smaller tuna can, then half of this bar is enough to melt and put inside here. So you want to cover 95 to 97% of the cardboard in here, and you're going to pour that in there and just kind of get it nice and melted. But you want to leave enough of the cardboard above the paraffin so that you have it serving as a wick. And then once that dries, all you have to do is put the lid on it, put a rubber band around it, and now you have a portable stove, portable heater, whatever you want to do with it. One thing I would recommend is when you melt your paraffin, do it in a double boiler. So I use a cleaned chili can or something like that, vegetable can, fruit can, whatever. Put this inside of it. You don't want to melt it directly in the can. It could combust, so put it in a double boiler. Now here's a nice thing. While you have it in the while you're melting this paraffin, grab yourself a box of Strike Anywhere matches, and then just dip those Strike Anywhere matches down in the melted paraffin, and then hang them by the tip. I had a little clip here. Oh yeah, here it is. So you can take that candle, you've got the Strike Anywhere part down here, the wooden part handle up here, and then you can put that over a piece of wire or wood between 2 posts or whatever, and let it dry, let it drip down on there. You can lay it flat and dry it that way, but what I have found is when you do it that way, you have a high failure rate of being waterproof, because the weight of the head may push away the paraffin, and then you have that one part that's exposed and not waterproof. And then when you get ready to strike that match, all you have to do is strike it, a little bit harder, and you've got a good waterproof match. So now what we did in Boy Scouts was we would put this, we'd put a circle of rocks around it, and then we'd put our pot or our pan directly on the rocks, and then use the heating. I told you that I like the Esbit stove. I don't like the Esbit fuel. If you get the Esbit fuel, a couple things. Number one, it doesn't burn hot enough to boil up out of water. Number two, it gives off an yucky yellow-brown soot that you cannot get off the bottom of your pots and pans. Oh, which reminds me, if you're going to be cooking with aluminum or stainless steel in a bushcraft type of way, let's say outdoor cooking or whatever, you're going to get soot from the combustion of the charcoal or wood or whatever. The way to avoid that, so you can get it and where it looks like you've never used your pot or pan, is before you cook in it, take the outside, just rub a little bit of dishwashing soap on the outside, let that dry, and then when you put it over the fire, any soot or anything else will be protected, and all you have to do is rinse that off, and you've got a nice clean pot and pan. So there's another secret for you. But anyhow, so if you get this, then one thing you can do is get the Esbit stove, and I'll put a link for this down below from my Amazon store. You can fit the new made stove, heater, whatever you want to call it, down inside, and it's almost perfect fit right here. And the only thing is, I would probably, to use this one, I would probably want to use the larger can, so it's a little bit higher because you've got this space here. You've got this space in here that is vacant, that's not going to become that close to the heat. So you want to get it fairly close to the heat source. You can, for safety's sake, whatever you do, do not burn this directly on top of anything. Make sure you have something that's non-heat conductive, a silicone trivet, a brick, a metal trivet with, put it on something metal, or one of the things you can do is put this on your oven door and use it that way. Same thing here. This has got the 4 metal feet, and you're going to get a little bit of heat, so I would probably put something down there so it doesn't conduct the heat, doesn't burn your furniture. But anyhow, just want to give you some quick ideas on some things you can do, protect you against the heat, to give you a portable stove. Oh, by the way, this is a large candle, so basically there is not that much carbon monoxide produced. So it is relatively safe, although I would always say have a carbon monoxide detector wherever you're cooking, just as a safety's sake, and also have a fire extinguisher close at hand. And then make sure that wherever the flame's going to go up, that you're taking a look up and where that heat is going to ascend, and make sure that there's nothing combustible above that. So, hope that gives you some ideas. This is Lee, the Cold War Prepper, saying remember, we're in this together so we can come out the other end together. And Annie wants to be recognized, so I guess she's telling me she wants to go outside. Take care. Bye-bye.